And then pending our next 2 inspections with the Coast Guard, we will start carrying passengers this summer.
Congratulations. What's her name?
The boat's name is Daniel Webster Clements. Mm-hmm.
I remember when Bill Campbell had this thing built.
Yeah.
You do? Really?
Mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
It's a replica. It's a Biloxi Schooner replica.
Yep. Started in 93 and they finished in 96, and I believe he stepped the masts at sailing south in 97 is when they finished and put the boat together. And then they ran it as like an excursions for Boy Scouts for a while.
Where was the yard it was built, or was it built in a yard?
Zirlott, yeah.
Okay.
In Mobile, south of Mobile, Bayou La Batre.
Mm-hmm. Not there anymore. Hard to find the Zirlotts, but I found them.
Oh, did you really?
I did. The grandpa and the son were both gone, and then there were some nephews that were left.
Cool.
And I'm tracking down because somebody still got the paperwork. They still got all their ship plans. Because that was 4 or 5 generations of Zirlotts that built shrimp boats. And that's what this boat is built after, is a shrimp boats on the inside. The structure of it is to their specs, but the outside is obviously a Biloxi schooner. But I've got 2 more leads with 2 more cousins that they say have all of that stuff. So I might actually come out with the drawings.
It's a shame because Bill Campbell passed away. His wife passed away first, and he passed away, and he had all that stuff.
Did he?
Yeah, he had all that stuff. He had it built.
I know his son, or I haven't got been able to get in touch. He won't return my phone call. The son Joseph. I'm gonna start pounding. But I knew him a long time ago. I'm still tracking it down. But one of the other builders, Mr. Randall Bates.
Have you tried the National Archives? A lot of boat builders like this would put stuff in the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
No kidding.
Yes. So I bet if you reach out to them, Google the name, Bill Campbell's name,
and the location of the
and all that stuff, you may be able to find it there in the National Archives.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
What are you sussing out today, Rick? What is it that you're
taking pictures and just looking at things and
like? What kind of things, like
the rigging and stuff like that that we would do.
What are you working on?
So we're going to be coming over, taping all this off. So we're going to whitewash this later on. This compound is going to come over again with primer and compound. We're going to fill that in. When that's done, we're going to come back, pull the tape off, hopefully, and whitewash it. Let this be in the sun. I just want the style to dry a little faster. So
what's the compound?
It's number 30 white. Basically, it's just there to help. It's a seam compound, so the water doesn't get in through it.
Yeah.
So we have cotton in behind.
It would have been cotton. Oh, there is cotton behind it. Okay. Oh, all right.
You can kind of see it probably up in here. Maybe back behind that. I know you can on this side. It's all poking out.
Okay. Isn't that pretty? She wants to go. She's ready to go sailing now.
We put all this on the last few days. It's been 3 coats on this side. We got 1 coat on the port. We're going to do 2 more today. So Captain's going to be meeting with some of the other management.
Right here.
Yep. So we came in with the hammer and chisel, and we pounded it all into the seams. Then we came over that with compound.
Yeah, I see.
But the problem is this hasn't been painted, so it's been sitting here and it's dried out a little bit. So we're coming back over and hitting it again. Make sure she's good to go.
Was this a learn on the fly skill, or have anybody have experience doing this before?
No, we saw it coming, and then just a lot of research and getting other people that have done it to come in and show us.
Okay. And what you said it's cotton? It looks more like a wool. Is it?
It's just cotton.
It's just cotton.
Yeah. It's like unwound cotton balls.
And it's not treated in any way? You're just cramming cotton in?
Yep, that's basically it.
Wow. Didn't I read in Joshua Slocum's Around the World book, didn't he have to tar it after he did that or something?
So, old school, they used to use pine pitch.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Pine pitch?
Yep.
I think that's what I'd read.
And actually, the area we're in now, when the Spanish had Florida, that was their main source of income, was all the pine trees making pitch for boats.
Oh.
Is this the only area of cotton we need?
So far that I've seen.
Okay.
Oh, it's so satisfying. Do you sand between the coats?
Yes. Season 320.
Where's his yard?
Yeah, I think it's Bayou La Batre.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they know wood. They don't know wood over here.
Yeah. He is, I know him from other circles. He's been to the boat a number of times, and he's poked around with his pocket knife all around here and the main mast step, and both of them came out without saying anything.
Oh, good.
So.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
From old guys like that,
Yeah.
no words are good words.
Well, Mr. Landry specializes in fixing old wooden boats. Mr. Bates was a new wooden boat builder. We're two different things, but he still knows what rock, where to look for it and everything.
We used to do all the inspections on the Biloxi schooners and all, and after a while I just said, look, you guys have too much checking in the spars. You know, the Glenn L. Sweatman and the Mike Sequel were both built 90s and early 2000s, and here it is 20 years later, and very little maintenance, and I just like, you need to call wooden people in at this point.
Yeah. Up here was all cargo stowage. There were removable walls down here where they could make places. So with the boat leaned this way, all the ice from that side didn't slide over here and capsize the boat. Had about 15 questions for me about it. I expected to see them. I haven't heard anything back from them.
I would see what obstacles they've had to overcome there with the Biloxi Seafood Museum and both of the Michael Sequel and the Glenn L. Sweatman.
Do they have COIs on those boats?
Yes.
Okay.
They did last time, and as I mentioned when we were below, that after a while, when the boats got older and older in the mast, their yellow pine mast, they started checking. And when the checks were small, each year we'd go over and do rigging inspections for them, mast and rig inspections. And when the checks were small, it wasn't such a big deal. Once they got over a half inch, I became concerned and told them that they needed to get a wood expert in there, that when it comes to aluminum and carbon fiber, I can do it, but older wooden masts like that, I didn't feel comfortable. And people up in Maine do it all the time. People up in Port Townsend, Washington State, there's a whole little enclave of boatwrights that know that kind of thing. And sadly, it's dying out here in the South with Zirlott's going away.
Yep.
So I'm curious as to what they do now. I referred them to a wooden boat builder named Michael Broussard, who was from New Orleans.
I've heard of Mr. Broussard. I saw his boat, the Breeze, over in Destin. I saw his fine craftsmanship.
His grandfather was a boat builder in southern Louisiana. His daddy was a boat builder in southern Louisiana. He's built some boats. We raced when they first finished the Glenn L. Sweatman, that was the first Biloxi schooner. They had this was in '93. They had what they called the Race of the White Wings, and it was in Biloxi. And Mike Broussard asked me to come over and bring a bunch of racing sailors over to sail against the Glenn L. Sweatman on his boat, on Michael Broussard's boat. He had a boat called the Corsair. And so I borrowed a bunch of spinnakers and big head sails from a customer with an Erickson 46, and he kicked her ass. And after the Saturday race, Gene Wallette, who was a yachtsman from the New Orleans area, kind of pulled him aside and said, "No, we're trying to promote the Biloxi Seafood Museum here. You need to let us win." It's like, bullshit, we're not going to let you win. You told me you wanted to race. We're out here racing, damn it.
I can't do that.
So anyway, Mike Broussard and the whole Biloxi Seafood Museum got kind of crossways there for a while. I don't know what's going on with that, but he was who I recommended, and then I was reminded that they had some bad blood in the past. So I don't know who the latest greatest old timer kind of guy. Somebody like you, who's now of your generation, that has those deep roots in the with grandparents and parents and all that were in the industry.
I know that my family got their wood from somewhere up in, I think it was northern Alabama, like those foothills area, and I can't remember the name of the group of people, but they spoke another dialect of English or something that was almost like Cajun. Anyways, they knew him. That was my great
Sounds
grandfather.
like there's a lumber baron that had a place in Pensacola, and when I was a kid, he rented the upstairs of Pensacola Yacht Club, and his great-grandfather owned huge amounts of property in North Alabama near a little town called Lavaca, and they had
Yes, that's it.
Yep.
And they speak their own language. These people, it's almost English, and it's not. But apparently, my great grandfather could rip it right back to them, and they spoke and they loved him, and that's where he got his juniper.
This guy's
wood.
name was Julian Waters, and he was the heir to all that.
I'm
that
sure my
lumber
grandfather
property.
would have known him.
Yeah.
I wish he was still around.
But
Interesting.
he was a lumber baron from North
Interesting.
Alabama, and the hailing port on the back of all his boats was Lavaca, Alabama.
That's incredible. I know that Mr. Landry, one of the reasons why he wanted the boat to go over there, not just proximity to his shop and his tools, because he has suppliers for wood over there. He says it's easier for him to get the wood. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
I imagine he's already got a solution for that, and I'm looking forward to finding out and coming home with some of that wood. We sit on top of that house when we come back. I can have some spares at some other places on the boat that I'm waiting for.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take this back and start putting it all together.
So are you going to do your lifelines, or is that a Zern or a Zern thing? Or
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
these around?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do those. We'll do everything that we
Yeah.
can when we get back to the dock.
Yeah.
My guess is you're going to try and keep it somewhat original looking. So, I mean, you could do 3-strand, and you could do 3-strand and do nice ice splices, and
Yeah.
they make 3-strand that is synthetic, but it looks like hemp.
So you're here to just inspect, and then you've got the experience and the crew to do what he recommends, or?
I'll do everything that he recommends I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If there's something that he recommends that they do,
Yeah.
that's good. I've got amateur, small professional experience with my own rigging, but let the professionals, let the riggers do the rigging.
Yeah.
Let plumbers do plumbing. Let people do what they're good at, what they know. If it comes to just replacing something, he says this is the thing it needs to be replaced. I imagine I can.
Yeah. Tell me about this yard. Well,
Oh, Marker 21's been here for a very long time. I've been coming here since I was 8 years old. This boat right here was an old military craft, and the old man who owned this yard, he had it called the boat. This sign he's still His name is Colonel Tucker, and he's still alive. I think he just celebrated 91. And he sold the yard, and they named it Marker 21, but it's been here for a really, really long time.
Yeah, I remember when they pulled the boat in here.
Do you? When did they do that?
Had to be in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And he got in a big tiff with the city because that's a drainage ditch.
Uh-huh.
And then the Episcopal Church over here was bitching, and the city was bitching, and Tucker, he just goes by Tucker.
Yeah.
I mean, Tucker just said,
Yeah.
F you guys.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I was here one day, maybe I was 13 or 14, I think. I watched him chase a man off the yard, kicking rocks at him, chasing him off the yard. Come to find out, it was OSHA.
oh
Kicked
shit.
the OSHA man off the yard. He said, "We're not registered with nobody. This is private property."
He was from Mississippi. He was from Mississippi.
Kicking rocks at him. That was when Bobby wasn't so old.
What are your commercial goals for Clemens? What is? Sorry.
The Daniel Webster Clements.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
that's great.
back into a tour boat.
Okay.
carrying passengers.
Yeah.
Let people get out and see what it looks like. A lot of people have never been able to do anything like this. May never do it again.
But can I be a customer? I've never
Absolutely.
been on a boat like
Absolutely.
this. And the guys working, will they be crew on the boat?
I only hired people who wanted to come and crew on the boat after. I can't think of a better way to begin the morale of a crew than having them start underneath it And then at the end of the season, they're standing on the boat. They feel like they did something from the bottom of their feet all the way up.
You know, it doesn't have anything to do with his business, but I would love to go peek inside before we go if I can. Okay.
Yeah.
Sunset cruises and stuff, just 1x19 stainless steel, 316 grade stainless steel rigging. You can't beat it.
I thought that's what you were gonna say, and that's the way I was leaning towards it. But I was thinking, well, the advantages of is if you had failure or anything. But I'm not looking towards I'm cruising across oceans at any time soon, right? So it doesn't really that doesn't stand up for me. And then I thought about weight, but I'm not really performance either. It's a working boat. She goes out there and takes people sailing.
We do a lot with Caligo, which is the company that's done the most with that kind of thing in the United States. And we do a lot of it with trimarans. The really great thing about it is a lot of the trimarans that raise and lower their masts for trailability, 1x19 wire will peak and become a problem, whereas the Dyneema, you just coil it right up.
Yeah, it just goes. Yeah. Well, I'm not lowering my mast. I wish I could. I could get underneath the Destin Bridge. It'd be great.
It'll be less expensive.
Okay.
It'll be bigger, better, have more of a life cycle. It's just going to be the way to go.
Well, I'll stop questioning that when I'm trying to sleep at night, I guess. That's the answer to my question.